All right, so welcome. Happy early Thanksgiving. I hope everyone's having an amazing day. Uh, I want to round out our content chunk here. For the month of November, we've been focused on a couple things, but really started off with stress management. How do we reduce it? How do we, what strategies do we have? What tools do we have to minimize it, to feel more at ease and confident? And then we also did our mayhem to magic content last time, how to create an even more magical holiday experience because it tends to be a very stressful time for a lot of folks. And tonight, want to focus on gratitude, which I think goes really well with both our stress tools, our stress content, and mayhem to magic, because one, it's going to allow you to really experience what Thanksgiving is all about, which is giving thanks, really experiencing the gratitude, and also you'll see how this can be one of your strategies, one of your new focuses for minimizing the stress, um, getting to experience something different this holiday season than maybe more stress that you're typically used to. So I want to start off with a fun little article that a client actually sent me, and with everything, I'll be putting a little TIY inevitable use spin to this. But you can see the title of this was "How Gratitude Overrides Our Negativity Bias." So they start off talking about how gratitude is a very powerful emotion, allows you to become even more expansive, open, feel lighter, happier, cultivate more positive relationships. So, in agreement with that, definitely a very powerful emotion when we really fill our body with the oxytocin and the serotonin and all the neurotransmitters, all the chemical markers associated with gratitude. It's definitely up there with love and joy, and very powerful for just feeling overall, better, having more well-being. So they go on to say a negativity bias is the idea that the human psyche is more affected by negative things than by those that are positive. So we've talked about this as the 90% of people are primarily in an away pattern, focused on thinking about things that they don't want in their life, trying to get out of pain, versus the towards pattern, or 10%, that's focused on pleasure and getting the things that they want. So that makes sense. Now they're saying that this is actually there's an evolutionary reason for this bias, that the brain operates this way to alert you of possible danger. So yeah, I agree. That definitely could be the case. And uh, is it also software? Is it also programmed into us to be like this? So whether it's the don't spill the milk example, right? We're focused to, or we're programmed to focus more on the things that we don't want. Um, because of the negativity bias, negative things become a magnet for your attention. So we've talked about this as the RAS, or reticular activation system, that the more you're looking for things to go wrong, or hey, you know what, a meteor can just rip through the ceiling right now, rip the picture out of my hands. Now I got to worry about meteors, in our don't spill the milk tool. Yeah, you prime yourself when this is a psychological program, when this is a pattern. You're going to see those things more often than the positive things. So still agreement here. Now, one researcher says the human brain is like Velcro for negative thoughts and Teflon for positive ones. I thought that was an interesting metaphor. Now, while this may be true for the vast majority of people, again, 90%, positive emotions, and this is where I would maybe disagree a little bit with this particular researcher. Positive emotions are just as addictive as, if not more addictive than the negative ones. You know, when you get used to it, when it is the primary thought pattern, when you are really experiencing the, you know, the true ecstasy, the true joy, and you amplify the volume on the positive, I wouldn't record our brain or our minds as Teflon for positive. It's just a habit. It's just a common pattern that we see. I would want to program or believe that our minds are like Velcro for both. You know, we latch on onto things the more that the more those habitual sentences run, right? So when you live in gratitude, you are interrupting the automatic negativity bias. Yeah, that's what we talk about as a pattern interrupt. You know, getting great at putting a new song on the radio to interrupt your old song on the radio that plays. You want to interrupt the old patterns of, you know, not wanting to spill milk. Something as simple as a smile cultivates gratitude. Yeah, using physiology, using your greatest tool. The mind and the body are intimately connected. You change your body, you change your mind. You change your mind, you change the body. So it's one of your greatest tools for instantly changing how you feel. Just put a smile on your face, and you'll be amazed. Then they give some strategies, some tips how to create more gratitude. So create a gratitude jar, gratitude pause, simply stop, take a couple of breaths, look people in the eye, nighttime reflection. Oh my gosh, shocker, journaling, it's in here. Yeah, all great things to practice, all great things to do. And so a good article, but it really highlights one of the main points and distinctions I want to make here for really creating more gratitude for yourself. There's this distinction of being versus doing. And so the example is like productivity tools. So with these articles like this, I tend to see these a lot, right? We see these pop up this time of year. Productivities is another example. I see a lot of things out there. Here's how to be, you know, tips, you know, 11 tips to be more productive and 9 tips to be more grateful. Again, while those are awesome things to practice and awesome things to do, there's a difference between that and actually, you know, being grateful, being productive. And one of the challenges that a lot of people have with, for instance, productivity tools, if you give someone who's unproductive to begin with just a bunch of tools, they're going to have a tough time with implementing it if they don't really understand the drivers as to their, you know, non-productiveness, right? It really goes to the software, it really goes to the neural structure that's behind the sentences. So when I talk about habitual sentences and changing sentences, it's just a long reach back to the structure, the neural structure that's creating the sentences. The language is always going to point to the software. So we always want to be at the causal level, at the software level, in order to experience the greatest change and transformation. Again, practicing gratitude tools, they're awesome, but we still want to go deeper. We still want to understand, well, you know, maybe what's preventing gratitude in the first place. You know, I'm trying all these tools, trying all these tips, still having a tough time with gratitude. Well, what is it? So let me give you some examples of what that might be. For instance, here's some great tools in the Inevitable You system that we can practice. And the formula which says reality is really just an equation of your ask, which is a plus or a minus, uh, plus or minus on the, so either positive or negative, times the emotional intensity meter on a scale of 1 to 10, and the amount of time that you're doing it. So some clues could be, if you're really not putting gratitude at a level 10, but then, you go to work or you interact with a spouse or, a friend, someone in your circle, you're dealing with the demands of life, got to do the holiday shopping, got to prepare Thanksgiving dinner, and now you're running stress at a level, 8, 9, but then you do a gratitude tool at a level, 2 or 3. Now the scales are not tipped in your favor. And if you're spending more time on the, negative side, the stressful side versus, only doing 30 minutes, which would be a lot for most people, 30 minutes of low emotional intensity gratitude in the morning. And then people sit and they wonder, what the heck's happening here? I'm using the tools. Yeah, but it's not at the emotional intensity. It's not at a amount of time that's going to really make a huge difference. I was just listening to an Abraham Hicks podcast. So Abraham is a channeled entity through Esther Hicks, that talks a lot about the law of attraction. And one of the things she says a lot is, or talks about a lot, is being sloppy thinkers. And I really like that because it's just so true for a lot of us that we just get careless, we get sloppy, we think some positive thoughts, and then we allow the negative thoughts to take us right back into the not gratitude or not happy or whatever it is that you're attempting to manifest. So it's really getting a lock and a hold and a consciousness on the habitual sentences that are running, and saying something that's going to be uplifting, saying something that's going to, allow, or that sentence again, that's going to be a long reach back to the structure, but allow you to experience more gratitude, more joy, and whatever it is you're wanting to create. So that's one big tool you want to be aware of. Now, these next 3 you're going to see really fit well together. In the broken leg limper tool. So again, I'm giving you radio soundbite versions of this, but one of the big points is, if you really understand that strength and growth and lessons come from things like broken legs, you hit a tree on Vail Mountain, you do the right rehab, and the leg grows back better than it was, stronger than it was before if you do the rehab. And the same is true for a broken thought, broken soul, broken heart. If you truly understand that, not only are you, just okay with the fact that you hit the tree and you don't have anger at the tree, but you have a gratitude for the tree. You're thankful that tree was there. And the metaphorical tree, that's a very different software, a different emotion, a different connection to these metaphorical broken legs, these metaphorical trees that create challenges and trauma for us. When you can really thank and love those things that created the challenge, man, how powerful that is. It's a huge key for most. Something that is a very common barrier. It's that one final turn of the lock maybe that most are missing, that is blocking from really truly experiencing that high emotional intensity of gratitude that we're talking about here. And then ICM, or I choose meaning, really fits with the broken leg, that when you really look at the half full and the half empty, really being conscious of both sides and getting to choose what you want and experience a data point to mean for your life. And that choice, which would contain, for instance, gratitude for that data point, for that, you know, um, perpetrator, that person that was responsible for a broken leg, that event, which leads us to the blueprint. And this is actually, so you're going to find this um, on the I Choose Meaning section on the website. I've shared this before. This is one of the most, if not the most, powerful things that I have ever done in this coaching system. Man, when I did this, I couldn't believe that. I mean, well, I'll tell you the tool, and then I'll tell you what happened for me. So at the end of I Choose Meaning, at the end of this section, you're going to write a series of letters. And the first series is going to be to people in your life that you felt were half empty, meaning you know, maybe you resented or disliked or even hated them for a long time. Maybe they were responsible for a broken leg. And you're going to write a thank you note. Again, it seems kind of odd. Why would I write a thank you note, you know, to someone that I hated? Or when you really understand broken leg limper, you really understand I Choose Meaning, and you do this exercise and you do it correctly, you're releasing their hold on you. You're regaining your true power. And man, when I did this, my piece of paper was like it was like falling apart because it was all soggy from tears streaming down my face. That the release of emotion that came with it was incredible. Was just a huge weight lifted off of my shoulders. And that's the power of this. That's the power and the true feeling of that gratitude that comes with doing something like this. And so you're going to do it for half empty folks. You're going to do another 3 for half full people in your life, people that you cherish, people that you love. And then the final one is going to be a thank you to you. Thank you to old you. Thank you for just for being you and, you know, this lifetime. And I'm telling you, it'll blow you away at the power that this exercise has. So last one, and this comes out of the Tony Robbins world, stacking or flooding, when he takes you through a series of, and Kate could probably talk to this, or anyone that's done a Tony Robbins, and Kathy, I think you've probably, Heather, have you been to a Tony event?
No, I haven't.
So he walks you through this experience. It's about 15, 20 minutes long, but the idea is that you're stacking one thing on top of another. So, you could take something very small. I'm grateful for my dog. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for being alive. I'm grateful for my parents. And it's a guided process, but I mean, it's pretty simple. You could do it on your own, but man, put some great music on, something that's inspiring, uplifting, and you do this for a good, even just 10 minutes. You do it right. Again, it's similar to the experience I had with my letters. You'll be a sobbing mess, and it just feels amazing. So, some great tools, powerful tools to practice this Thanksgiving week. And man, how much of a gift, how special of a gift would it be to write someone close to you, someone in your life, maybe someone you haven't connected with in a while, send them a great note, even a handwritten letter for those of you that still do those. How special would that be for those people this holiday season?